So Outer Range is the new sci-fi neo-western that follows a man named Royal Abbott, played by Josh Brolin, as he stumbles upon a supernatural hole on his ranch in Wyoming. So you guys basically know this already, but I've been debating on whether or not if I want to talk about this show, because although I finished season 1, yes, I felt like that only happened because I was waiting for something to truly pique my interest throughout the show. And honestly, that moment really never happened for me. I mean, yes, there were moments that started to pull me in, but it didn't really truly pique my interest. I just felt like I was sort of hanging around waiting for something to do that, because I really feel like this show has the potential to go in that direction for me. But the main aspect of this story is that the Abbott family is dealing with a feud with a neighboring family known as the Tillersons. And this feud is over a portion of the Abbott family's land and how it legally belongs to the Tillersons. And this happens to also be the land where this supernatural hole is located. So we automatically know that someone in the Tillersons family knows something, because we know that there has to be some other reason besides the fact that this land just legally belongs to the Tillersons. I mean, it's been a few weeks since I finished the series, but if I remember correctly, it's like over a mile of land. So yes, who wouldn't want to legally retrieve over a mile of land, if I remember correctly? But at the same time, we know that there's something a little bit deeper about this situation, and the fact that someone, we don't know who just yet, or actually I think we do find out pretty early on, but I won't give it away in this review, but we know that there is someone in the Tillersons family who is very familiar with this land, and that's the reason why they want it, because they know that there is something also very strange about it. Then the other large aspect that we follow throughout the show is the fact that there is a murder that happens that really shakes shit up a bit, and then the show becomes partially a crime thriller. Then there's a young hippie girl named Autumn, played by Imogen Poots, that shows up to the Abbott family ranch, and then progressively things become even weirder throughout the series. So just as a warning, I am going to get into some spoilers, because if you're currently watching the show, then most of the things that I'm going to talk about in this video have already occurred, I think. But anyway, there's your disclaimer. So early on, one of the biggest theories is basically just revealed regarding Autumn. I mean, it wasn't really revealed, but most of the theories online regarding who she is that I've seen from viewers is basically true, which means it wasn't really that hard for people to figure out. But I think it was supposed to be, because there's a pretty big reveal at the end of the season regarding Autumn and her origin and who she is. So that was kind of strange that they made that pretty easy for people to kind of figure out, but then also have this reveal at the end of the season. So, you know, I don't know. I was just underwhelmed by that reveal, because I could tell that it was supposed to have a much larger impact, but it was just very easy to guess. Then there's this murder that takes place, and that's really the only real suspense we receive early on in the show, which was interesting, and it does lead to the viewers learning more regarding the hole, I mean this void on his ranch, but I just didn't care. I just felt like the murder and the family feud shit was just there as filler to, you know, just drag us through the series with all of this prolonged exposition. Now, I would say that the first episode and maybe the last 2 or 3 is where the series finally begins to get to the point. And you know, the feuds and the relationships that they spent so much time on establishing in the beginning of the series just kind of bored the shit out of me. And yes, it's a necessary part of the character development and the story building, and yes, it is logical progression and blah blah blah, but I just wasn't entertained most of the time while watching this show. The only thing that made those parts of this series bearable for me was Josh Brolin, Lily Taylor, and Imogen Poots' performances. Josh Brolin is just artistic when he's on screen, and the guy just knows how to deliver the hell out of his lines. I mean, he's just a good performer, he's just a good actor in general. And also shouts out to Will Patton as well. I mean, he doesn't get the most screen time throughout the show, but he doesn't need much to make an impact. I mean, come on, it's this fucking Will Patton. But yeah, outside of those performances, I was basically on autopilot until the last couple of episodes. Even with that said, the ending did pull me back in just enough to want to tune in if the series gets renewed for a second season. So I'm giving Outer Range a 7.5 out of 10. There's a lot of moments throughout the series that really attempts to get the viewers to invest in what I would consider to be quite pivotal moments throughout the show, but unfortunately it rarely had that effect on me. But also that may not be the case for you guys, and it's cool if you completely disagree with me. Even the end reveal regarding Royal and some details about who he is just hit me like, oh, that's pretty wild. but I still don't really care. It just wasn't the strongest first season for me. But there's my thoughts on season 1 of Outer Range, so let me know down below if you guys agree or disagree. Also, I think Shining Girls is better, but I think that's only a limited series. I could be wrong, but out of the shows that I've seen recently, that one is definitely one of the better shows. It's a nice mindfuck to check out, and I think I plan to talk about it later if I have the time. Also, I'm not on camera because I haven't cut my hair yet since I got back off my business trip. I've just been lazy as hell. So yeah, I gotta cut my hair pretty soon because I'll be covering Doctor Strange this week. I don't know if it'll be a full review or just a straight out of theater reaction, but please look out for that. Anyway though, there you guys have it, and if you enjoyed the content, you know exactly what to do. Thank you for watching.